What's up, boys and girls? West Texas Podcast in the house. One of the first things you're going to notice that we are now in video format as opposed to just being in audio like we've been. That's because this is Season 2, Episode 1. And, and just a real quick introduction again. I'm Chris the Libertarian. This is that guy, Brian.
So,
and we got the elegant Miss Ginger Rose on production back there. Say hello.
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 So if you're new to the show, just a little bit about who we are, what we do. We cover basically local events, West Texas podcast. We're about everything that's going on here. Events, news events, anything like that, anything that's going on. State, new laws being passed. Also, topical things with national news. We're just some normal folks that have ideas, and it's raw, uncut.
I don't know if I would refer to either one of you guys as normal.
we're peasants.
That's just
We're peasants.
We're normal for the most part.
We're educated peasants.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm dirt. I really ain't shit. So, it's raw thoughts. It's raw commentary. It's raw conservative commentary that you wouldn't normally be able to get elsewhere. And you listen to the news and stuff like that, and you get scripted stuff. So this is the same events that are being covered, but they're being covered by normal folks just like y'all. So that being said, getting into local stuff, Miss Ginger Rose, you had an event this past weekend, didn't you?
I did. I had a book signing, an art show, and was going to do a poetry reading, but I didn't read poetry. I did get up there and do some open mic, but we were promoting my book Humans, which is about race relations in the United States, and basically there's a scientific portion of it, there's a basic portion. You guys should pick it up. We are also asking that you guys hit us up because we're doing what, Chris?
Well, we're trying to host an event where it's an open mic, and it's for everyone that wants to come and sit down and talk to us to talk to us about their interpretation of racism or what it means to them, how it affects them. And if you know me, you know that it might turn into a little bit of an argument. It might turn into
a debate.
It might turn into a debate. But for the most part, we want to hear other people's input. You don't have to be an expert in the field, but we do ask that you have an open mind to other people's ideas. So
yes, and that you're respectful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even if you're a little, if you have racist ideation, hey, voice it. It is what it is. It's better to know who you're dealing with than who you're not. But at least do it with the, frame of mind of this is my opinion, this is how I feel, this is why I feel that way. And then fight us verbally.
Yeah. So yeah, hashtag
we could get some boxing gloves, if it does get physical.
Yeah, if it escalates.
Oh, those big ones, or we could get the suits where we wrestle.
Right. Let's rock'em sock'em robots and just fight each other.
Or we could just distribute knives with a knife fight and
nunchucks.
Yep, nunchuck each other.
Well,
so we'll announce that in the future. Hopefully, we get it put together. It's still conceptual at this point, but it would be nice to get something like that going.
We thought it, so it's going to happen.
That's true. Facts.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
It was a lot of community love. There were various artists and all types of humans at this event. And we were talking about community and how all of those things kind of change when we have all of these shootings and the things that are going on currently, right?
Yeah, that's right. And there was actually the shootings. I guess they caught this guy that was driving around, and he was shooting at people who were stopped on the side of the road with car trouble. The guy's name is Charlie Wilson, and he killed one person, he injured another, and he shot up 3 vehicles, I believe it is.
Something like that.
And they caught this guy, which and it's crazy. And of course, people want to say, well, all right, who does he back politically? And what's the really odd thing about this is his Facebook page is still up. Normally they would have been pulled down quickly. The eerie part of this is that his Facebook page is full of nothing but inspirational quotes and prayer, and everything on there. Every post is thank you God for this wonderful day. Let's get out there, guys, and have a great day. And you're reading this, and this guy is driving around trying to be a serial killer.
Right.
But they caught him. They put an end to it. He's I think they hit him with a $500,000 bond. There's no way he's bonding out, but so they caught him, and and this brings up what we talked about last time: is arm yourself. Absolutely, arm yourself at all times. Anywhere you want to be safe, anywhere you don't want to be killed, arm yourself. Go out to the gun range out in West Odessa. Go out there and train and shoot and
get your license to conceal carry.
Absolutely.
I'm all for that. And I'm going to voice my opinion on the whole carrying issue if you guys don't mind.
Go for it.
The open carry, I get it. It's a right. I think that some of you guys might rethink it because it might make you a target. In addition, people know you're armed, so even if they have a spontaneous, passionate moment where they're like, oh, I'm going to shoot this place up, they'll grab your stuff if they need to, Just, I think you guys should be really careful. Remember, we are not the Wild West. We are a little bit wild and we are from the West, but, have some common sense about stuff. Don't just go out there panicking. Don't become the accidental shooter.
Right. So, and I put a lot of thought of that I put a lot of thought on that too. That if you are going to open carry, make sure you're not the only one.
Right.
Yeah. You become, in my opinion, you become a target.
Yeah,
the one guy with the gun on his hip. But if there's 20 guys with gun on his hips, then very clearly you're outgunned, you're outmanned, and you might back down.
Right.
So.
Yeah, well, there's more to it than just simply carrying a pistol. I mean, there's a lot of training involved if, you were actually in that situation. Identifying your target, what's behind your target, and then what are your priorities? Are you going to get your family out of there first, or are you going to take down the shooter?
Yeah.
So I'm absolutely getting my family out of there.
Yeah.
And somebody was telling me something about the Walmart shooting in El Paso that they knew a guy that had his gun or something, and just there's all these talk about I'm going to be the good guy with the gun. Well, if you have your children with you, the good guy, the dad that you are being a good guy is getting your kids the hell out of there. That's what a dad does.
It's like we were talking about it at the event with the young lady and the gentleman that came by the table, and we were saying just the way things transpired after even the shooting here in Odessa, and when they were driving around and they took everyone out of Synergy.
Mm-hmm.
That you put a lot of lives at risk when you handled it that way, and that was a little bit strange that decision was made, because you see those videos of those children. I mean, their little hands are shaking. They are terrified. I mean, as well they should be.
So, one of two things: either this was one of the many staged or cover-up shootings, or there was a lot of incompetence by a lot of people, which it's absolutely it's forgivable. Shit
and possible.
Happens. Yeah.
But that's why we
there was
need
a
to
lot
be
of
trained and not go
absolutely.
around
Well,
pretending.
we're damn near we're trained up now. Everyone's jumping on that train now, but
Academy was sold out right after that.
Yeah, we all saw the pictures.
People buying pistols
lines.
left and right.
People were standing shoulder to shoulder with lines of 3 to 4 behind them, just getting armed. And good, arm up, arm yourselves.
I saw this guy bring his mom there, and she's all like, I want this gun. And it's like, well, that's kind of big. Do you really need it? She's like, I am a woman, and I need to be able to take down a big man that tries to attack me. Okay, let's get you the big gun.
Let's get it. So,
and I was like, that was pretty funny.
So very clearly, women will not be as strong as men. One in 100 women will be. So women need the mechanical advantage, which is the firearm.
Great equalizer.
Yeah, absolutely. So it doesn't matter how many sit-ups or push-ups you can
And
do.
your knives and your wands and your whatever else you might carry, Chinese stars.
So you have, if you believe,
your go-to is.
yes, absolutely. And if you believe in protecting women, if you believe in if you hate the rape culture and all this stuff, and you support feminism, then support armed women. That's how you stop a rapist.
Okay.
That's how you stop a rapist. That's how you stop crime against women. Is you
You
arm
don't
women.
take guns away.
Absolutely not.
That's, it's kind of the same. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but there's a meme that was circulating on social media that was saying that the logic behind, making abortions illegal are not going to stop abortions from happening. Thank you.
Welcome to the gun debate.
What was the other one going around?
Just like
what was the other one going around in Massachusetts? They wanted to criminalize or make vape pens illegal because they said that people were buying black market vape pens that were killing people. Mm-hmm. And somebody says, well, how is that going to work if people are just going to buy black market vape pens? Somebody's like, welcome to the gun control debate.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, and that's one thing Trump has brought up is the abolishment of vape pens and all that stuff. He's done nothing on it. He mentioned that that's something he'd look into, and actually a lot of people are mad at him for that. But he's done nothing on it. And there's quite a few people who are conservatives who don't like Trump because they feel like he bans everything. But the only thing that he did ban was bump stocks. Everything has just been words, and it hasn't gone from there. So until it does, calm down, guys.
What's interesting about that, though, everybody talks about the protection of children and all of this, but they don't have a problem with Greta.
So they doing the same thing with Greta that they're doing with David Hogg, and they do with what's the little boy's name, the little transgender boy, something amazing. I can't quite remember his name. The little boy that was dancing at gay clubs.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember.
I want to say Devin Amazing or something like that. I can't quite remember. I mean, nice little kid, but he's being led down.
Yeah, and this starts with the parenting.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Democrats are proving one thing with Greta, and that's that children are no longer off limits. Children should be off limits. When you look at this child, when you look at Greta, how much she's up there passionately reading from the script. How dare you? How dare you come to us for hope? And like, I didn't ask you nothing. You're coming to us for hope. How much research do you think these children are actually doing? How much research do you think adults are doing on climate change? If you're gonna eat up climate change, you're either gonna deny it or eat it up without evidence. Either way.
I mean, it exists, but that's just scientific. The climate is going to change.
Absolutely.
Regardless. And here's my problem with people who are all about climate change. You're on social media, on your phone that's super mass produced, crying about emissions in countries that produce that phone for you. Mm-hmm. Do you guys understand why some of these countries have more emissions? Because they're creating the things that you're sitting there complaining on now. Until you are no longer attached to
Go live in the woods if you want to talk shit.
Yes, and don't...
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, and don't pick fruit, and don't cut grass. Wait until something has fallen naturally, then eat it. Mm-hmm. Roadkill, eat it. Because that's the only way you're not purposefully taking from the earth. Because as long as you're driving in a car, you're on your cell phone, you're going to school, you're buying books, you're still part of the problem. Absolutely. Because you're taking resources from. So everybody, needs to really, like you say, research and take a step back. And, I know I got a little off topic because I go like, ooh. But going back to the whole Greta thing, because of things like this, you're going to create a generation of indoctrinated children who are hating life, hating themselves, hating their environment. And let's be real, if we were all just quiet and not attached to social media or even the news or media and just in our happy little worlds doing our own thing, how miserable would you guys really be?
So here's the thing. Teenagers are going to be miserable, but they're giving them something. They're teenagers stomp around trying to find something to bitch about. That's what they do. So they're giving them something to bitch about, something to put all their energy into, and it's indoctrination. If they want to rally behind these causes, great, but let them come across it themselves. This girl's clearly indoctrinated. She's seen wearing Antifa shirts, and you know, okay, maybe she has an Antifa shirt. Mom, Dad are wearing the same Antifa shirts. But the big thing about this is that they are so hypocritical. They with Democrats, I've said it once, I'll say it again, I'll say it now, and I'll keep saying it forever. It's do as I say, not as I do. So Greta was seen taking this yacht that is supposed to be super clean, super low emissions and stuff, which is great. It's awesome. But she brought it, or she took a ride on it, and then they had to fly out 2 guys on a private jet to get it and take it back. So it's like, where does the green part start kicking in at? You know, if you know, the same thing with like Leonardo DiCaprio. He's up there crying about climate change. Then takes his private jet around 5 times in a week. Where are we going green? Like, you want us to go green, use less toilet paper, recycle our water bottles, but you're going to fly your jet 5 times a week.
You see, the thing is about this whole going green thing is that, yeah, it'd be great to be able to do that. It'd definitely cut your electric bill down. But right now, everything is made out of petroleum products.
Absolutely.
Your shirt's made of petroleum products. The plastic's made of petroleum products. Your phone's made of a petroleum product. And right now, solar and wind energy only produces, like, was it 10 to 20% of what's on the
now
grid,
everyone's
on the grid? It's
well,
not.
a lot of
nuclear. How did you say it?
I see nuclear might actually
nuclear is a solution.
Nuclear could do some. Nuclear could produce some power. Nuclear could produce some power on a very small, you know, piece of land. Except, you know, everybody's scared about that because of radiation, because of Fukushima. But you know, there's a lot.
This is America. We have American standards.
and those are semi-valid concerns.
Yeah.
At the same time, this is why it's important to understand science.
Yeah.
And the way things work. Because
that's why they need to.
People need to understand how things can be used positively, you know, to help. And all of our resources, I mean, we have everything we need on this earth.
Yep.
We have everything we need.
Listen, it's not natural. Everything is natural. Where did we get it from? If it's not natural, where did it come from?
And there's so many ways to minimize everything, and we could do it city and statewide if need be, since people love to add government to everything. Okay, well, instead of having these landfills where they're complaining that they're just filling up with trash, stop producing new plastic. Stop the production of new plastic. Make all plastic recyclable. Period. I mean, there's so many things that can be done, and people are walking around. It's someone who's operating that little Sims is just like against the wall.
Well, these people don't realize exactly how much petroleum is used every day. Look at the road. That's tar. That's petroleum. Now, if you look at it, get on the highway and think, this highway goes, I don't know, 200 miles. Think of all the petroleum that's used in that. Think of the medical field. They'll take a plastic made out of petroleum bag, open it up, pull out a petroleum-based product, use that, throw it away in a petroleum-based
latex gloves.
Like everything, it's used so much, and it's just thrown away. And a lot of it's not. But it's not only that. The United States itself isn't the big culprit here. Why did we leave the Paris Accord agreement? Because we have other countries that are not doing shit. They're not living up to it. China and India both said that they're going to reach their emission high point, their peaks, by, what was it, about 2030, 2032. So their agreement is that they're going to produce more emissions before they can start coming down. And, you know, like, well, it's not us, but we're the ones putting the bill on all this.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just us. It's a global thing.
We are really we're relatively very, very low in emissions, and under Trump, emissions have gone down, even through deregulation.
But even when you look at countries that are not as advanced, they still have a multitude of produced objects. I mean, they walk around with their cell phones too.
Yep,
they walk
absolutely.
around. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So in their cars.
And they have their cars are less eco-friendly than ours in a lot of places.
I mean, so it's just so much. It's a lot of misinformation and misunderstandings, and people are just going off. I can create any meme I want to today, and then I just Go put it out,
As
and
long
it
as it gets
becomes
viral, and it's
as soon as
that's
somebody
law
agrees,
now.
you just need
It's
a couple
law.
of you need a puckle. You need a puckle of people to. This is why we should drink on the show. No, really. You just have a couple of people agree, spread it, and all of a sudden it's the law.
Yeah, no, it's law.
It's the law.
Yeah. So, you know, and everyone wants to use green energy, which is windmills and solar. You know, do you remember when Trump was heavily criticized for saying windmills cause cancer? Well, this is yet another example of people not looking into things. Windmills release heavy EM waves, electromagnetic waves. That is a generator the size of a house just up there cranking out EM waves. They absolutely do
Of course.
cause cancer.
This
That's
is
why they have to put them way out in the middle of nowhere.
nowhere. And this is people do not think thoughts completely through. Not all people. I mean, I'm not sitting here acting like, oh, we're the only people in the world who think.
Well,
No, I mean,
what they're told on the left is that you don't have to be factually right as long as you're morally correct. Now, I agree with being morally correct.
the thing is
But
that
I
morals
more
are
agree
subjective.
Yeah, absolutely.
Morality is subjective.
Exactly.
So, you know.
As Americans, for the most part, our morale system does go down a particular path. We do have little strays here and there, but we all collectively want the same thing. But you know, on the small details is where we stray. But we have to make our morals based off of facts, off of statistics.
Right.
You know, at one point we were called the party of fairy tale because we conservatives tend to be Christian or faith, and we were condemned all the time by we're not the party of science, and now we are the party of science. We're the party of biology. You know, and so we see with them that they want to do this green energy all the time, but the green energy, they don't realize how much, like it's like 900 tons of steel go into making one windmill.
Oh, I know. They're massive. They're massive. You see them driving down the street, just one blade, like an airplane.
Yeah,
Like,
they'll move one blade at a time. These things are massive.
Yeah.
Think about the trucks used, the coal mined to produce the heat to smelt it, all the iron collected. There's nothing green about it. There's nothing green about it.
Same with the solar. I mean, you gotta mine that stuff.
Absolutely.
You know, those chips don't just grow out of trees.
Yeah, there's not a solar panel tree and you pick it.
Solar panel trees.
And the thing with windmills, or the concept for energy, came from using it in small individual means. It was an individual means way. Okay, if people want to really go that route, then you need to minimize, not maximize. Not just bigger, better.
Well, we can't roll back now. We can't take steps backwards.
Well,
I'm not turning the air conditioning off for anything. No, and I'm not gonna walk 1,000 feet when I could drive 1,000 feet. It ain't happening.
Well, that's the thing. Everything nowadays. This isn't the 1800s.
Yeah.
There's more people. They're scattered out much farther than they were back then.
Mm-hmm.
And most businesses are big businesses that are centrally located.
There's more of a demand.
Yeah.
And they are dead setting on mass producing themselves.
You got residential zones, you got industrial zones, you got, store zones. And generally it takes you about 30 minutes to an hour to get to work.
Yeah.
So,
So
do you want to walk? Do you want to use a bike?
And then if you get a horse, now you got poop everywhere.
You got poop
That's
everywhere. And a horse can only go about they can only go so fast too.
That might be animal cruelty too.
We have horse drag races. I'm down for that. We can joust.
Galloping to work every day.
Yeah. Road rage will become jousting very quickly. It'd be awesome.
That'd be cool.
So
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
I'll joust.
I want it to be known, conservatives, Republicans, we do care about the environment. We do. We don't support waste being thrown into the environment like nothing. We support a clean environment. We absolutely do. And we do look forward to cleaner energy, which is a little bit more realistic about it. And we don't want the United States to just blow through American taxpayers' dollars funding everyone's projects that, as it becomes more clear that it's just a big money grab. Very few people actually come up with something. Now, in 30 years from now, we could have something. We probably will. But in the meantime, let's That's why I supported Trump when he pulled out of the Paris Climate Accords, was because we were the only ones funding it, and if everyone else was doing their part, that would have been one thing, but they weren't. So, put a fork in that. Unless anybody has anything to add.
Nope. We can take a quick little intermission. And...
That's when I learned you never let the cat in the shower with you because, you know, he starts playing, you know, they got them little shovel.
And we're back.
We're back. Politics.
Yeah, politics and science and stuff.
Yeah, science.
So, impeachment is in the news.
Yes.
Apparently, Donald Trump is in trouble this time. They got him this time.
Oh,
they got him.
Except they didn't at all.
They didn't.
Oh.
But they're still trying. They're still trying, and they're going to try for a little while.
So what's it this time?
So, the president was caught red-handed in the act of quid pro quo with the Ukraine president, Zelensky. The newly
from the movie Monsters Inc.
Gotcha. He's a newly elected president. He Trump gave him a phone call to congratulate him. Him and his president or his party, his political party, got elected to parliament there, and Trump was giving him a congratulatory phone call, and the phone call is the phone call in question. What happened was. When we actually have the transcript here, and Brian's going to read a part of it while he's getting that ready. What happened was...
What happened?
What had
happened
was... the Zelensky brought up that he liked Trump's model of Drain the Swamp, and he was trying to mirror that in his country.
Mm-hmm.
And so he brought up the corruption, and Trump ran with it. And he talked a little about until he brought up the whole Biden thing. So the backstory on Biden is that Biden's son Hunter was on the board of an energy company there out of Ukraine. He was making something like $50,000 a month, which was crazy because he knows nothing about the energy industry or anything like that.
Except it's not crazy.
It's not crazy because
the
of what
Democrats
that is.
are known for doing that.
Absolutely. They use their positions of power.
Omar went so far as to marrying her own husband and, messing with taxes and stuff.
So Hunter came under investigation at one point in time. Biden made sure, Joe Biden, Creepy Joe, Sleepy Joe, made sure that...
Sniffing the children.
Yeah, sniffing the children's hair and stuff. I mean, I'll take it from Joe. Joe, if you sniff my hair and rub my shoulders, I'll take it.
I could use a back rub, but please don't sniff me.
I'm so lonely. I wish I had a Joe in my life.
Oh,
anyway, so
you have a sister. No,
Joe, you have a sister. So, Joe, using his position of power, made sure that he got that prosecutor fired. That was what Trump brought up to the Ukraine President Zelensky when he was talking about draining the swamp there. The whole thing about the corruption made it circle, and he said, yeah, and that'd be great if you pick back up on that investigation or see where that was. And there was no quid pro quo. And sources say that Zelensky wasn't even aware yet of the fact that his military funding had been cut through the U.S. Now, the theory behind this is a lot of people speculate of why he cut funding, Trump cut funding. Well, he was making sure that the people that we like got in power there and that they got the funding. You don't want to keep funding somebody. They get a whole new regime change and everything like that. We don't want to keep funding them if they're not the ones that we want in power.
Right.
So he held that off. That being said, let's pick up the transcript here. This is the part of the transcript that's being called in question. The whole transcript itself is really big, and we don't need to hear all of it. But this is the part that causes the speculation.
Basically, it says there's a lot of talk about Biden's son, that Biden stopped the prosecution, and a lot of people want to find out about that. So whatever you can do with the Attorney General would be great. Biden went around bragging that he stopped the prosecution. So if you can look into it, it sounds horrible to me. Which, I mean, that sounds like a like criminal investigation.
Yeah.
You know what is wrong with our leader speaking to another leader about working together to get to find a conclusion with a criminal investigation? Don't we want countries working together?
Oh my goodness. Are you insinuating that peace is the answer?
How dare I?
I mean, what will the government do if we're peaceful? We might not actually.
Oh my goodness. If we could find our own way, wow.
If people got along, if humans realized that racism is only a thing if you make it a thing.
Yeah. So, Nancy Pelosi has been put in the position to push through with impeachment. So the way I feel about this is my thoughts on it. I feel like Nancy Pelosi's been put in an awkward position. Nancy Pelosi said she doesn't want impeachment. She doesn't think that there's enough there to do it and get away with it. Nancy Pelosi is one of the more reasonable Democrats, believe it or not. She does have a mouthpiece on her, but she acts more reasonably. She's not a radical leftist like a lot of her party is going. Her and Joe Biden both are more moderate than a lot of the new Democrats. Nancy Pelosi's put in a position where she can either please her party or win the next election. If she proceeds with the impeachment, it's going to get Biden out. If Trump goes down, Biden goes down too. So Biden is their front runner, as we all know. This will put Warren up next. Sanders, they've already made it clear, the DNC's already made it clear they don't want Sanders to have it. He will never have it. He'll never get it. He'll be on the sidelines, cookie finger waving at people, condemning them. I wrote the damn thing.
You know, and I don't. He's not a horrible human. He's just misguided in he believes that we can all get along. In an ideal society, his ideals would work. You know, he did that whole $15 thing and then had to lower their hours. Like, hello, same thing. You can't have free education and then more pay for teachers and all this stuff. We keep going back and forth, and it's just a circle these people are doing. And now let's just, try to impeach Trump without any backing other than the fact that we don't fucking like him. We don't like that he's not actually a politician.
Well, that's why Nancy was holding off. So if Nancy does not push through impeachment, she'll lose the extreme leftist. She'll lose them, which is half her party at this point.
Which shouldn't matter, but unfortunately, it is
that's
all about.
Yeah, that's their squad. That's their crew. Speaking of squad, the squad, who is beginning to be more and more popular, she'll lose them completely. They're already butt heads all the time. So she'll lose them. She'll lose their support completely. But they might lose the next election. Warren can't beat Trump. Warren will take over. Warren will be the front runner if Biden leaves. Warren, Sanders, not even Kamala Harris or Cory Booker. None of them have, according to polls, none of them have the black vote. Joe Biden does. So, if they lose Biden, they're going to lose the election. She's probably okay with losing the election as long as they get Trump out. So it's a trade-off. And we see where she's going with it. She's taking the impeachment.
And how far do you think it's going to go, and what do you guys think?
The thing about impeachment is that, impeachment's just kind of like going before a grand jury. You need a simple majority to see if you're even going to
Impeachment's not a legal term. It's a political term.
Yeah, impeachment just is kind of like the House is like a grand jury deciding if it should go to trial. But if the Senate doesn't vote 2/3 vote to convict, the whole thing is just kind of a
the House
of taxpayer dollars.
The House is a majority right now. I think the House needs 7 more votes.
So they actually, I think they do have just a simple majority to,
they already have the majority?
Impeach.
Okay.
They could impeach, but if the Senate doesn't convict, then the whole thing is just
it's a waste of time. So it's gonna make it through the House. I think you said the House does have majority vote at this point.
They could probably get it through.
Last time I checked on it, they needed 7 more votes, and they were expected to get it very easily within the end of the day. Now I think this was actually yesterday's news. So if it goes to the Senate, it's not going to make it. There's no way. The Republicans have the Senate.
Yeah.
It's not going to go through.
And
it's going to be a waste of time, energy, and resources.
It won't go through if everything goes the way it should. If there's no kind of
fuckery. major fuckery. There's going to have to be major fuckery for it to happen, which it can.
Which they are not above.
Yeah. There are a lot of never-Trumpers or a bunch of rhino Republicans. It could happen. I don't see it happening. I don't see it going through the Senate. I see it just getting there and stopping. What I feel like is that it was expected to do this. It was expected to pass the House and go to the Senate. But what this has done is, do y'all remember a little guy by the name of Epstein? Y'all remember Epstein?
Yes, but
He's out of
everybody
the-
has forgotten him.
Yeah, he's out of the news already.
Yeah.
So, things like this, I feel like are always meant to cause a distraction.
Of course.
They've been doing this since day one with Trump. Just one empty investigation after another leads nowhere. That does nothing. It's all a waste of time. And at this point, they keep crying. What was it, Chicken Little, that the sky is falling?
Oh yeah.
They keep crying wolf so much. No one takes it seriously anymore. But you have people that are like, every time he does something, this is it. We got him. This is it. They're saying that this time too. They said it every time before. You don't have him. It's going nowhere. Stop it. Get over it. He has a year left. Just roll with it.
Yeah.
1 year left. Roll with it. How are we doing on time, Miss Ginger?
You have about 6 minutes left before it cuts out.
Okay.
That's how we rolling out of this.
We're going to have a breakdancing tournament right here in the studio.
I'm ready. I have cardboard.
You have cardboard?
I have my cardboard. I will break it out. I'm ready.
Okay.
Awesome. We can definitely do that.
Michael Jackson jacket in the other room. I mean, that's how we
Are we gonna Thriller?
pants.
Are we going to Thriller?
I'm ready.
That's and Halloween's next month.
Halloween is next month.
But right now, we need to be.
Why
in the
don't
world.
we host a West Texas podcast Halloween party?
We absolutely
We
can.
could.
And actually,
We could turn this into a haunted house, and I have a ton of.
well, we
space.
got to check in with our boy Billy Pond over at the DEF CON Haunted Warehouse. Now, I can't remember if he's going to be shut down this year or if he's going to go through this year. It'll be shut down until next year. I can't quite remember.
What
but
about
we'll
a
find out.
Halloween party at the haunted house?
Yes.
We
Sounds
definitely need
amazing.
a live podcast from there. Us going through.
Sounds amazing. And once again, boys and girls, we've
I want to
brought
be
this up.
Maleficent.
Sure.
I'll dye my hair black and
Awesome.
I'll go.
And we could dress up as Joker and Harley Quinn. I get to be Harley Quinn now.
Oh no,
Okay.
I want to be Harley.
No,
Quinn.
you-
Somebody's Joker.
no,
But
you
You
my-
like dress up like to the theaters, just like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, they say a lot of theaters are actually banning people from dressing up as the Joker to go see the movie.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. We
Because
were
of-
discussing that. Brian,
So-
tell them a little bit about that.
Yeah, what's going on with that, Brian?
So apparently, they think that there's a risk. I guess there's some crazy people online
What?
threatening to do like a copycat of Aurora back in 2012, for the Joker movie or something like that. So the FBI and the military have actually issued out warnings to be wary if you go to the premiere of Joker. I don't know. I mean, it's just stupid, crazy people out there always doing stupid, crazy stuff. But I'm still gonna go see Joker.
See, the crazy part about it is why is there specifically a ban of having a firearm in a theater? Like, of all places, why would that place be banned? I don't get it.
Well, I mean, because there's a large group of people. Anywhere there's a large group of people, they're typically banned.
Maybe
So
at least have like
schools-
Well,
a.
if the theater only holds 50 people, it's still
Well,
banned.
I've seen over at some of the
Because
local
that's-
theaters.
A mass group of
Well,
people.
I've seen over at the local theater what they have now is 2 armed security guards out front, so that's
so
actually a step. At least
Yeah.
that's
We're
an
going to
improvement.
have to go into a, not necessarily a police state, but kind of, I mean, we're the future.
It's either a police
Yeah, but
state or well-armed populace.
you see all the movies where people are walking around, open carrying. We have security everywhere. I mean, we are unfortunately there because humans are set on regression. They're set on cycles. Every civilization has seen it. Every civilization has done it. And we're just witnessing this part of it.
So,
So-
again, boys and girls, arm yourselves. Train on your firearms. Go out to our buddy Matt over at the Odessa area, West Odessa area outdoor gun range. Go see him.
Just get yourself licensed to carry.
Get licensed. Train often. Have fun. Other than that, I guess we're good to go.
I'm good.
That's
Are you
right.
good?
Yeah, I'm good.
We're all good.
We
All
out.
right. This has been Season 2, Episode 1. Let's Texas Podcast signing off.
We used to have audio, but now we have video. We used to use a lot of foul language, but now we have some corporate policies and
Something like that.
Something
So
like that.
we're
We
Drop
used
the
to have a little, now we have a lot.
Yeah, we used to have a little, now we have-
He's still Brian from the block.
Wicked, wicked.